Hello everybody, back here with another video. So today I'm answering questions regarding Ehlers Danlos syndrome, my experiences with it, and just general questions about Ehlers Danlos syndrome. I've been collecting these questions since yesterday. I've got a fair few to get through, but I'm quite looking forward to be able to make this video for you guys, and hope you can get a better understanding it after I've answered some of these wonderful questions that have been asked. I've got 37 to get through altogether. So yeah, I'll just jump straight into it. Number 1, do more females get EDS? No, they don't get EDS more than males do. It's equal in both sexes. People mightn't have seen it, but it affects both sexes equally. I'm in a support group, and there's a fair few males in there still, and yeah, it affects both sexes equally. Question number 2, coping with daily pain. Well, that can be really tough to cope with. I get various pain all over my body. What it is a big help though is the fentanyl patch that I'm on. It doesn't completely take away my pain. I'm always in pain every day, unfortunately. There's no painkiller what will take pain away completely. I'm on a fentanyl patch, and that does help a great deal. I get terrible pains in my hip, in knee, and I can get very sore hands as well. Right, question number 3, can you safely carry a child with EDS? I know that many people with EDS do safely carry children, but I also do know that there's a higher chance of miscarriage or stillbirth within Ehlers Danlos syndrome, and that's absolutely heartbreaking. But never mind carrying the child like that. It can be a real strain on the body with Ehlers Danlos syndrome. You can start dislocating a lot more, especially your hips, as the pregnancy goes on. I'm not really an expert with having a child, carrying a child, because I don't have a child, and I don't know if I ever will. Possibly not. Never mind. Question number 4. Is everyone tall with EDS? No, not everybody's tall with EDS. There's short people, average sized people with Ehlers Danlos syndrome. I am tall. I've got something called maphenoid features. Some people with Ehlers Danlos syndrome do get maphenoid features, and they are excessively tall. I'm not excessively tall, but I am much taller than most females. I've got maphenoid features in my hands, the long thin hands, long thin fingers. There is a lot of tall thin people with Ehlers Danlos syndrome, but certainly not everybody is tall with Ehlers Danlos syndrome. Question number 5, why can't you take collagen supplements like you can take other supplements to supplement other deficiencies in the body? Well, it's not a deficiency in the sense of collagen. What it is it's genetic, obviously, the condition, and you're born with it. And the collagen, it's just the matrix of the collagen, the way it is made. It's not that we're deficient of it. We could take collagen supplements, but it probably, by research, wouldn't do anything, because you're born with it. It's genetic. It's not that type of deficiency in that sense. It's a deficiency. You don't have a deficiency of it. It's the matrix of the collagen. You can't change the matrix of your collagen by collagen supplements. It's just genetically impossible. Number 6, can you get married? Yes, you certainly can get married with Ehlers Danlos syndrome. I know many people who have got happily married with Ehlers Danlos syndrome. Yeah, you can get married, yeah. Number 7, is EDS contagious? No, EDS is certainly not contagious, and I don't know what type of person would ask that question, because that's actually quite offensive. No, it's not contagious. Definitely not contagious. No. Number 8, how common is EDS? Right, this is a good question. Depending on what type of Ehlers Danlos syndrome you've got, it affects people from anywhere 1 in 5,000 all the way up to 1 in 15,000 people. It really is dependent of the type of Ehlers Danlos syndrome you've got. Number 9, what gene mutation is EDS? Right, so this is a bit complicated. the certain types of Ehlers Danlos syndrome, they know exactly kind of the gene mutation, what it is. So like vascular type, they know the gene what causes vascular type, but within the hypermobility type of Ehlers Danlos syndrome, they actually don't know the exact gene mutation. I hope that clears stuff up. Number 9. Oh no, sorry, I just said that. Number 10. What have the various surgeries been like in compare the recoveries? Well, I've had a huge number of surgeries, all on various parts of my body. I've had both my feet operated on, and I've had my hands operated on countless times, as well as my jaw and stomach and bladder. They're quite different to compare, really. Probably, if I want to say this, the worst recovery probably was my first jaw surgery. That was a hellish recovery. I wouldn't want to go through that again. It was the most painful recovery that I ever had. Second to that would have been getting my bladder surgery done, getting that suprapubic other done. I was in pain for a good week or so after that. Obviously, serious pain where I couldn't get comfortable. So the surgeries have all been fairly different, and like I said, definitely the first jaw surgery I had was a hellish recovery. Number 11. What's the worst dislocation? Yes, really good question. Worst dislocation. All dislocations are bad, but by far the worst dislocation, I must admit, is probably my jaw. It's painful, it's distressing to get relocated, it's no fun. Jaw. Second to that would be hip. So yeah. Number 12. What does a surgical block feel like? Right, this is hard to explain. I've had surgical blocks for both my foot surgeries and all my hand surgeries. So a block in your arm when you're getting a hand surgery is to put a needle in here and put various numbing agents through it, numbing medications to numb the nerves in your arm so you can't feel it. First it starts to go a bit tingly, and then it goes really hot and heavy and you can't feel it. So that's what a block feels like in your arm. It's a spinal block that go into your back and put it in the just in between the vertebrae, in the fill, that sort of like the space in between there, and then it numbs both your legs. If you're numb from the waist down, it feels really weird actually. So that's what a block's like. When was EDS first apparent? Well, EDS was first apparent when I was a kid, really, being hypermobile. But when it come really apparent, I must have been about 12 years old when I dislocated my shoulder for the very first time. This can't be right. You don't just dislocate a shoulder by taking a top off. So really, that was when it come really apparent initially. Number 14. Do I feel like the NHS and the government give me the right care? Yes and no. The NHS isn't equipped to deal with Ehlers Danlos syndrome how they should be able to deal with it, and they're not knowledgeable enough of it. So in that sense, you can get seriously neglected. And I think with regards to government, I think they definitely should fund more stuff and more research and more learning for Ehlers Danlos syndrome within the NHS. And what I've noticed now with the coronavirus happening is with the government is that they haven't really recognised that people with Ehlers Danlos syndrome are certainly vulnerable as just as vulnerable as somebody with other serious chronic conditions. Number 15. Everyday tasks that I struggle with. What somebody without EDS wouldn't struggle with. Probably one of the biggest things would be getting dressed. Getting dressed, really. Taking clothes on and off is one of the big struggles in my life, is being careful not to pop a joint while you're doing that. Another everyday task is just walking outside, or really climbing the stairs. I'm not actually allowed to really climb stairs anymore because I had numerous falls down them. So there's a few things what I struggle with, but other people without Ehlers Danlos wouldn't really struggle with. Number 16. Is ethnicity different? Do people with different ethnicities or backgrounds get Ehlers Danlos? Is it more prevalent in one? No, it's not. It doesn't matter what race or what ethnicity you are. Ehlers Danlos syndrome can affect you. Just like the male or female thing, it's not prevalent in one or more sort of ethnicities or male or female. It's just that's it. It's just how it is for everybody. Number 17. Favourite hospital food. My favourite hospital food is probably the raspberry jelly. That is actually quite delicious. I must admit, this crazy enough, hospital food, I don't really eat it. I'm a pure diet in there. No, they're not fun, but the jelly they give is, yeah, I'll give that a thumbs up. Do I like the hospital? No, I don't like the hospital. Do I like the hospitals I'm treated in? Yes, I couldn't fault the RVI or the Freeman Hospital there. Give them the real top. They're really good at the game and stuff. But no, I don't like having to be there or stay there. The more I go into the hospital, the more I realise that I actually hate the place because I'm there all the time. But I'm used to it. I'm not afraid of the hospital. I just don't like the hospital. What's it like being a wheelchair user? That's a good question. I went from being able-bodied to being in a wheelchair. It went rapidly that within a matter of months I went from being able to walk to in a wheelchair. Sometimes it's not nice actually being in a wheelchair, because I know what it's been like to have been able to be able-bodied and being able to walk. Things I don't like about a wheelchair is that people tend to treat you as though you've got a mental affliction. They don't think you're capable. They always talk to the person who's pushing the wheelchair and not yourself. And people, I don't know, people stigma with wheelchair can be quite bad. And people look at you and it's not very nice. I'm sure they wouldn't like to be stared if they were in a wheelchair. What's it like not weighing? Right, okay, so most of you probably know that I've got a suprapubic catheter by now, that most of you know that I've had a catheter for over a year and this suprapubic one since January. I do wee, just not like other people. I've got a bag attached to the catheter, so obviously I'm still producing wee and I am weeing, just not how everybody thinks or how most people urinate. What's it not like? I suppose, what's it not like? I don't know really, because I was having a lot of trouble anyways. I was going into retention and stuff, so I'm not too sure what it's like not using the toilet as everybody else does. I suppose it's how it is now for me. I don't know really. Where was I? How many meds and what feed type do I have? Right, I am on about 20 different medications daily. I have them in the morning and the evening and the afternoon. So I'm on about 20 different medications for various different things. The feed type I am on is what's it called? Nutricen concentrate. Yes, that's it. What worst part of my routine? Well, the worst part of my routine is what annoys me the most probably would be having to attach a feed. I know it's a really important big thing to do, but it's one of the things that really sometimes it gets to us more than others. I think that might be one of the worst parts of my routine. And yeah, another quite worst part would be having to do physio, because it sometimes feels like I'm getting nowhere with physio. But that's that. How does EDS affect people around me and friendship? Well, some people really don't want to be my friend, and I've lost friends due to having Ehlers Danlos syndrome. People just don't like people in wheelchairs. They don't like how I dislocate. They don't like I have to take meds. Some people just aren't supportive and understanding of the fact that these things have to be done here and now. Affects people in different ways. Some people are really supportive and helpful, and others are scared. That's fair enough. And some people are just damn right out rude. So yeah, I've answered a lot of questions here so far. I think I'll make a second part to this video and continue answering the questions. I hope everybody has had a good understanding so far, and I'll be back here with another video tomorrow. So far I have answered 23 questions, and I'll continue with the rest tomorrow. Hope everybody is staying safe, and God bless. Please share this video. Bye.